What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video. And on January 12th, the Bulls played against the Golden State Warriors during their Ring of Honor ceremony. And the Ring of Honor ceremony is basically them celebrating the people who brought the championship team in the 90s together. And if we're being honest, it's a ploy to big up nostalgia because our team is dog shit, right? And pardon my if I sound weird because I'm still sick. But this situation happened at this event that calls everyone into a fury, and I just want to talk about it because it low-key kind of pissed me off, everyone's reaction to it, right? So during this event, they highlighted each player, each person on the staff, and each person in the front office that helped put the 90s Bulls together, right? And so what they do is they'll during like the beginning of the game and during halftime, they'll call out each individual person, put their picture up on the Jumbotron, and then everyone to cheer or whatever, right? And so they did it for like, oh, Phil Jackson. They show a picture of him, show him in the stands, and then everyone cheers and stuff like that. And so the reason why this is a controversy, what happened was the GM of in the 90s, Jerry Krause, was also mentioned. They put his picture up, they shouted his name, they put his picture up, and the fans proceed to boo. And the person there accepting the Ring of Honor award was his widow wife, right? And so everyone's up in a tizzy because, oh my god, they booed this widow, which didn't happen, but I will get to that. And so everyone's talking about how distasteful it was, and this, not, and the third, right? And so I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, one, I've been a Bulls fan my entire life. I am born and raised in Chicago. My entire family's Bulls fans. I used to go to the barbershop when I get my haircut and listen to old heads talk about the Bulls day in, day out, all that stuff, right? I'm a Bulls fan. I know about all the history of the Bulls, right? Fuck it, I did a project in like, what was it? Like 5th grade about the Chicago Bulls and how, you know, Michael Jordan's the greatest players of all time and all that stuff, right? And so it was common knowledge. This whole thing could have been avoided in a few ways. And I'm not upset. I'm upset at people's reaction because they're trying to point the finger at people who should be blamed when this whole thing could have been avoided. And I'm not going to excuse the people who are booing because, one, it was shitty, right? It was shitty. We're keeping it a bean. It was shitty, right? But we're not finna sit here and act like this wasn't going to happen. Because if you or anyone who would be knowledgeable of the Bulls, even before The Last Dance, everyone is trying to pin this on, this is Michael Jordan's fault because in The Last Dance documentary that he talked about his beef with Jerry Krause and how like Jerry Krause wanted to split up the dynasty team no matter what happened. He even quoted saying, if this team went 82-0, I would still blow it up. This still be the last year for The Last Dance. So a lot of people in Chicago, before then, this was in the paper. This was, if anyone who was watching sports at that time, who was into the Bulls, knew the city of Chicago hated Jerry Krause. The players, the media, everyone talked shit about Jerry Krause because he does a lot of politicking and backstabbing and all that shit like that, right? He wasn't a saint by any means. And so every time he gets mentioned in Bulls before The Last Dance, he was booed. This is a reoccurring thing. This isn't something that's like brand new that people were shocked that this happened. If anyone who had any idea of the history with Jerry Krause knows, when they bring him up, he will be booed, right? And so people's reaction was, oh my god, they were booing the widow. That does not happen. When they showed the widow crying, most people stopped booing and stuff like that, but it was too late. The damage was already done, and this could have been avoided if you just did one. This happened during halftime when the game was popping, and you know when the game is good, when you're in the arena and you're in the stands and the game is popping, everyone's getting drinks and stuff like that. They get rowdy. Is what happens, right? The way they should have avoided this was say they should have introduced his widow first and like, this is, I think her name is Thelma Krause, accepting the award for Jerry Krause. That, they would not have booed her then. Because they stopped when they saw her. So it was like, it's not like they're aiming their boos at this little old lady. Like, the fuck? But, regardless of that, all these people that are coming out, even Steve, the fucking nerve, Steve Kerr talking about, oh, this isn't right that they booed. blah 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 blah. But when they was dragging Jerry Krause literally a few years ago, y'all didn't say shit about it. The nerve of these people all of a sudden talking about, oh my god, how dare y'all boo a dead man when they was literally dragging him a few years ago and y'all didn't say anything. No one said anything. People on these, and I have to sit here, everyone on, because I follow a lot of my team sports and all that stuff, right? I have to sit here, listen to all these bum ass podcasts, sit here bitching and complain, talking about, oh my god, how dare these fans boo, it's disgraceful, stuff like that. Y'all didn't give a fuck about that when they was doing it earlier. But now all of a sudden, it's a problem now. All of a sudden, oh my god, it's bad taste. Especially some of these podcasts when they do it now. Like, okay, I'm not gonna say any names, but this is one podcast when the dude was literally a few months ago, drunk at the arena, yelling at the ownership to sell a team, berating the family. But I'm sorry, when fans do it to when you're not there, fans do it, it's a problem. When you was just doing it a few months ago. Or telling Billy Donovan and his family to get out of town, you should be fired, you don't need your father should be fired, this shit and the third, all that stuff. It's like, what do we do now? You want to stand on your soapbox and talk down on people like, oh my god, how dare they, y'all was doing the same exact shit a few months ago. But no, they have to stand on the high horse now. It's like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Once again, I'm saying what the fans did were wrong, but the people were standing on their high horses all of a sudden talking about, man, how dare they? I didn't see this coming. But claiming to be a lifelong Bulls fan is bullshit, and you know it. People, and I will say this right now, it's not right. But when the owner of the team, Jerry Reinsdorf, dies and they bring him up in a few years, people will boo him. That's what's going to happen. It's going to happen. There is ways to circumvent this. I'm not saying it's right, but it is going to happen because people, majority of Bulls fans that go to the arena and stuff like that, and most of them, if we're being honest, is drunk, do not like the Reinsdorfs. They don't like the owner of the team. When Dolan, whoever owns the Knicks, when he passes away and they bring him up, people are going to boo. It's what's going to happen. Like, I don't understand why people are so shocked about this. When someone that people don't like are mentioned up, they're going to react a certain way. And now it's our job, not our job, but the job of the people that work in the arenas and stuff like that, to prevent this from happening. This was just a bad thing all around. And honestly, this shouldn't have been a thing, because the whole reason the ceremony is a thing is because the front office and the owners want to get paid off of nostalgia because our team is dog shit. I mean, it's better now, but when they put this whole thing together, it was dog shit. The same thing like the Pistons did, where the Pistons were still god-awful. They did the whole 35-year anniversary for the Bad Boy Pistons, and now we're supposed to forget about it and be all hunky-dory. Like, no. Like, what are we doing here? This thing came from a bad place to begin with, and now this worst thing is happening, and now everyone wants to be on their soapbox and top down like, oh my god, I'm just so ashamed that this happened. Like, what the fuck you think was gonna happen? Like, duh. Like, it's just like, it's so mind-boggling. Now, it kind of feels like, you know, when you're in school and one student does something stupid, so the whole class had to hear the teacher yell at them, and it's like, bro, I didn't even do anything. Why am I hearing this? You know what I mean? It's just fucking annoying, alright? That's basically what happened at this event, and so if you hear anything about it, that's basically what happened. And this is from me, a lifelong Bulls fan, the reason why it happened, and what we should do to do differently so doesn't happen again. Even though, once again, when the Reinsdorfs or whoever that people don't like dies, it's gonna happen again. So, and the people were saying, oh my god, this is the worst thing the fans done in sports history, is bullshit, okay? The Raptors were sending a little girl death threats because when they played the Bulls, she screamed at every free throw and the Raptors missed and they lost in the play-in tournament last year. But, oh, I'm sorry, them booing a dead man is even worse than that. So get the fuck out of here, I'm sorry. It's fucked up. It is fucked up, but let's keep it a bean here. This is not the worst thing you've ever heard a fan do. Not even close. Get out your, bro, whatever. Get out your feelings, bro, because you know damn well that isn't what it is. And the people who are blaming it on The Last Dance, it's been like 20 plus years, okay? The perception of Jerry Reinsdorf didn't just change from a single documentary. Like, let's chill, let's stop it here, okay? Anyway, those are my thoughts. Tell me what y'all think down below, and if there's any sports fans Tell me what your thoughts are, and thank you.